Alrighty then, it's time for an Aurelion LOL video, and this one is a mid-lane game. Hooray! Let's go on. The thing is, I can't really be a chooser right now. I'm basically begging for good footage, because mostly since I've been working a full-time job, it's getting very hard to put in as many games as I did before, and even then it was pretty difficult to get in a lot of games before too, so it's pretty strained. Also, if you check my Maricon account, you can see that I have a lot of losses, so just kind of take what you can, right? Anyhow, working a full-time job has been a lot like solo queue, coincidentally. You got some of those co-workers who really need to, stop slacking and stop putting all the work on top of me. So, yes, I'm carrying a bunch of people. Anyways, right now I'm very afraid of Vladimir, but thankfully Graves comes in and is going to start shooting his face down. I miss a lot of potential damage and probably the damage I needed to force out his flash because I didn't hit my balls in his face, but still, it's good enough. See, Vladimir can beat a lot of champions early on in the game, mostly because they don't have the resources to spend against Vladimir, but if you tip the odds against him, or you have no mana restrictions, or you reach a certain level before he actually, bled you down, you'll be completely fine. In this case, thanks to Graves' ganks, or Graves' early gank, Vladimir can't really take any trades without being too scared. So I'm about to reach that point where I can buy something like Catalyst or the Protector or whatever Riot wants to call it now, and basically fend him off. Anyways, Graves catches Rengar flashes over, Graves flashes over as well, and then hunts him down like the boosted animal he is. Dead Rengar. Vladimir shows up for some reason. It's a 2v1, so he just kind of wasted his time and his health. And then Leona and Jinx show up too, but it's basically a 3v3. So I don't understand their entire engagement here. Vladimir gets chunked really badly, nearly dies. Leona is definitely gonna die. She's basically have no chance in hell surviving. Jinx just can't output that much damage. We chase after Jinx, and he's actually gonna survive with a sliver of health because we just didn't finish her off. And thankfully, the Vladimir was dumb enough to return just to die. When unfortunately, me and Graves are here trying to take the chicken. Rengar shows up, mauls my face, gives chase to the Graves, Bard returns, and then they just sort of humiliate the Rengar. It's gotten pretty damn sad. Jinx surviving is just like, receiving just a hand job over your clothing, and then when you unzip, she just stops. It's like, you just got teased super hard. It just makes you feel bad. You came so close, and instead you just came in your pants. Anyhow, as you can see now with Catalyst with Protector and just the amount of pretty much trade power I have now, Vladimir can't do jack shit. He's just gonna get bullied by my balls. So he's getting bleed all over the carpet essentially, but he's not gonna get anywhere. So yeah, he took a really bad trade, and or I don't know what he tried to do. I guess he tried to use with his full bar. He tried to spill his aids everywhere, and it resulted in him getting absolutely chunked down and finished off. And as a result of Vladimir failing, it frees me from the mid lane, and I could just start traveling around the map and just start making everyone's life hell. Here, my balls weren't able to hit Jinx, mostly because I got trapped by those things, and now we're forced to sort of back off. Still though, that forced a lot of pressure of bottom lane, so that's great for me. Graves at this point is just kind of dominating too, so him and me are becoming this global pressure that the enemy team can't handle right now. Like, look, all I have to do is just sort of throw my Q in front of Vladimir, and he's gonna panic like a bitch. Just watch. Every moment he gets a little too close, throw my Q, or even just extend my W and he gets a little bit afraid. Darius goes in, tries to kill the Renekton. I hover in with my E, but it doesn't matter. He really fucked up that Renekton, so that's good for us. Though you're going to see the Renekton just sort of fight back anyways and then eventually get killed. Right now I'm just kind of waiting for Vladimir to get it off in a bad position, or for Graves to do something so I can follow in and help him out. You can see that Graves is sort of just invading the enemy team. You see, every time I use my Q, Vladimir is going to go in his pool, and he's going to allow me to just Shrek him with my balls. So yeah, that wasn't the best trade, mostly because I was in a really good position to use my circles. So just, Bard is showing up, we stun him, Graves blast the fuck out of him, but unfortunately he survives with just a snap. So fortunately for us, though, at least it means we can absolutely destroy this tower. Although, I think Leona and Rengar show up, and I don't know, they initiate for no reason, and they're not in any position to take advantage of this, so they just get super chunked, and I believe it forces Leona's flash out, so that was kind of really pointless and stupid, so, sort of like we're Some of the things some employees do just baffles my mind. Either way, I teleport down bottom, and then I just managed to kind of kill steal that. I guess I wasn't really needed because Jin managed to survive Jinx's really poor attempt at killing him. Either way, we catch Vladimir from behind by using my E forward. He doesn't dodge my Q. And my teammates don't help me out here, mostly because they caught somebody else down bottom. I think Leona and the Jinx tried doing something, so they got punished for that. Unfortunately for me, you just saw the Vladimir was just kind of smashed his head on the keyboard as a sort of panic. Like anything, all I have to do again is just walk up to him, and he just gets super afraid. As soon as I get my Rylai's Crystal Scepter, he's not going to be able to do jack dick. Either way, I also got to point out, it was kind of fun seeing Aurelion LOL be an attempt to be played in the LCS, because I still vehemently believe he's pretty underrated for a lot of players. Anyways, Rengar and Leona come in, I flash away, they focus on the Graves, but they get a little too close together, and they basically allow my balls to rip them shreds. So, easy peasy kill on the Rengar. Leona just sort of disappeared. I think she flashed over the wall, I don't really know, she just didn't show up right after. So yeah, you can kind of tell this game's kind of dead, at least for the enemy team. But this is solo queue, so any shit can happen. I mean, I had a game a little while ago that had a teammate who was substituting for his higher level friend because he was about to decay. He was like, oh, I'm a silver player. I just got to play it. My friend just asked me to play so he doesn't decay. So of course we lost that fucking game. Anyways, Leona gets caught, she gets grounded down to sun bits, and now we're able to kill my close relative, the Earth Dragon. There he gets killed. Either way, I catch the Vladimir, he uses the pool, and as soon as my balls extend, he flashes away. He's that fucking afraid of Aurelion LOL. It should be, I mean, I do a shitload of damage. But I just gotta, he gets a little too close again, he gets stunned, and I just pull all the stops to burst him down before he does anything. And I just gotta point out, this is my favorite moment of the game. Rengar comes in, Leona comes in, and in comes the Bard ultimate. He uses a little wall to save me, and then he stuns them both. I go in a circle, and I take his little portal back up. My ball's actually hitting Rengar a couple times. I survive by just a little bit of health, thanks to Bard's plays and me running around in circles. You can say that's quite the Aurelion LOL moment. I feel bad about this. Anyways, Renekton kills me, then he gets blasted by my teammates. He doesn't actually die, but they're in no shape to actually defend this, so yeah, we easily, well, we don't actually take the tower. Vladimir shows up, they give a weird little fight. They give a really odd chase. They're not really, again, in any shape to fight, they're really behind, so this is kind of a desperate play. Vladimir's leading the charge when it should be Leona, so Vladimir basically dies for free. Graves is too tanky to be killed rather easily, so they grind down the Jinx, and the Graves manage to survive, and I use my teleport from the side to sort of try to kill the Rengu, but he managed to escape. So yeah, the enemy team has a combination of having a pretty shitty team composition, although to be very honest, I kind of feel like the Aurelion LOL was countered after they had picked Rengar and Leona, but they just don't seemingly do anything proper, so they're getting absolutely wrecked. 2, they kind of have that whole solo queue heart mentality. Like, they're kind of just doing their own things, and as a result, they keep getting punished and caught and murdered. They're not, the Leona isn't being sacrificed, isn't sacrificing herself for her teammates. They're not really positioning themselves properly or even grouping up. So they're getting absolutely punished. My team is a very maneuverable team, except the Jin. And I guess Darius is just not a factor. He's just kind of in his own island. But me, Bard, and Graves are very maneuverable, and us as a sort of frontline defensive lineup for the Jin is just too goddamn powerful. Like, we control so much space, we're able to just deal the respectable amount of damage from ourselves. So the enemy team is just got absolutely giga-fucked. And of course, it does play in the fact that the Graves and me had a lot of impact in the early game, so that works itself too. But still, it's just, if there's any note to be taken here, it's, well, a lot of notes actually. It's just the enemy team just kind of bungling up their champion select and then bungling up for how to take care of my team. I mean, to be very blunt, my team should have kind of lost the early game. I mean, I shouldn't have been able to do anything against the Vladimir until around the mid game when I had items, and then the Vladimir then himself probably would have been too defensive with whatever that Superman cape is. He should have been able to just deal with my pitiful amount of damage every game. Rengar and Renekton should have focused on Darius and made him food, or at least hunted down the graves, or at least kept an eye on him. Bottom lane should have played a defensive kind of game and then only dunked the Jhin or the Bard when they were out of position, because there was no real way they'd be able to deflect that. So it just kind of seemed like the enemy team all dropped the ball on this one. And them blaming each other in all chat really was pointless, because again, they all kind of fucking sucked. They didn't play their parts right. So they got Giga motherfucking wrecked, and we are able to seal the deal with this. So hooray, I at least had some fun after having a really long and arduous work week. It was fun, I like my job, but damn, I really needed a game like this, hooray. This channel is supported by my sponsors, Crunchyroll and Loot Crate. Check out the description below for links to the websites. Signing up for any trials, including Crunchyroll's free anime trial, greatly supports my channel. Also remember to give the video a like to support the channel, and subscribe if you haven't yet. I've also made a Patreon now, and if you wish to support me through that medium, then I welcome it.